a bad mask, and now he's a radical masker. Now he wants you to wear 15 different masks at one time. I don't know. He also told me he was a great athlete. Then I saw him throw out a pitch at the baseball. I used to be a great athlete, sir. You did? Really? Oh, that's good. Then I watched him on television. That's not an athlete. The ball almost went to first base, didn't it? The issue here is not about whether to leave Afghanistan. The issue is Joe Biden's staggering incompetence and gross negligence. He doesn't know where the hell he is. You think he's running the government? He's not running the government. Creating the greatest strategic humiliation that we've ever seen as a country, and it was something that we should have stopped, and the general should have done something. They should have done something. They should have talked to him and said, look, Commander-in-Chief, but you just couldn't have done that. If he had if he just moved the people out, he should have done it, and he should have done it first. He had to have done it first. You know, sometimes in life, decisions are made. And when those decisions are made, if they're bad decisions, you've got to get away from them. And you've got to get away from them fast. And if you don't get away from them, you're not going to have a country anymore. You know, I said about elections, if we don't have great elections, if we don't have borders, if we don't have the things that are being taken away from us, we're not going to have a country anymore. And certainly, we're not going to have a respected country anymore. With me in office, the Taliban would not have ever dreamt of capturing our airfield or parading around with our American weapons. Did you see all those guns they have? Who recognized those guns? Because they're the same guns you had. We made them. There would have been no emergency embassy evacuation and no taking down of our flag. They took down our flag because we would have established clear lines that the Taliban would have never dared to cross. The problem with Biden is that our enemies are not afraid of him. They don't respect him. Our adversaries and our allies no longer trust him. They can't trust him any longer. Remember, he went back and he went to Europe, and they didn't know what the hell was going on. And they said, we're back. We're back. In other words, we're back. Now you can continue to take advantage of us, because Europe took advantage of us with NATO like nobody ever. You know, I got Europe to pay $430 billion toward NATO. They would have never paid. For 15, 18 years, it was like this, the payment. And we're protecting them. And some of them were totally delinquent. They didn't pay. And I said, you got to pay. They said, sir, what would happen if we didn't pay? Would you protect us? I said, if you didn't pay, I would not recommend protecting you. And it was amazing how fast that money came in, right? That money came in. That money came in fast. 430. It started off with 130 billion, not million, billion. And then 430 billion came in very quickly. We did a lot of good things with South Korea. I said, we protect you for nothing. You've got to pay. You're a rich country. You make the boats. You make all our television sets, which you took from us. Thank you very much. You make so many cars for us. You got to pay. And they agreed, and they paid billions of dollars at my request. It wasn't that easy. It took a little while, like about 2 days. They agreed to pay billions of dollars. And then I said, look, next year, wait till after the election, but you're going to have to pay at least $5 billion. No, we will not pay. I said, yes, you will pay. We have 32,000 soldiers in South Korea. He said, no, President Moon, nice man, good man. But he said, no, which he should say. Why should he when he's been, succouring us for so many years? So he said, no. I said, you're going to have to pay $5 billion. But then the election result turned out different than what it should have, different from the real result. And I just heard they made a deal with South Korea to pay a cost of living adjustment. You know what that is? Nothing. When the money I raised, it's like nothing. And that was another country, I'm sure, that was extremely happy with the results. But I did a great job in protecting them. I think I've saved them from Kim Jong-un. So I don't think they, I'll tell you what, a lot of people from South Korea come up to me and say, thank you very much, sir. I think I saved them from Kim Jong-un because of the relationship I developed with Kim Jong-un. Biden is the most pathetic president. And look, he makes Jimmy Carter look great, right? Look at that man with that jacket. I love you, man. How many rallies have you come to? What number is this? 30? Much more than that. Much more. We have some women. Are they here tonight? North Carolina? Where are they? Where are they? We have some women. They've been to 96. I didn't even know we did 96. Said, how many? Sir, we're up to about 96. I said, I didn't know we did that many. But, look, this is a very unpleasant subject.
Purpose is a gentleman from North Carolina seek recognition.
I seek unanimous consent to address the House for 1 minute.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, the Taliban is emboldened today. They have found a new reason to cry death to America. That reason is Joe Biden. His foreign policy is not America first, it's Taliban first. Mr. President, listen carefully, and I'll say it slowly just for you. No man left behind. That's leadership. Here's my pledge to the Taliban. You may chant death to America today, but mark my words, the levers of power will be in strong hands soon. If you harm an American, we will rain down vengeance upon you with the wrath and fury that will put the fires of hell to shame. Psalm 91 promises us that God will be our refuge and our fortress. But you do not worship my God or heed his promises. So when we come for you, there will be no refuge, no cave, no crevice you can crawl into that will save you from our wrath. So to those who hate America and all that we stand for, read my lips. I am young and I have a long memory. When power in Washington inevitably shifts, we will not forget you because we're in the business of killing terrorists. And pretty soon, business will be booming. With that, I yield back.
Members are reminded to refrain from engaging in personalities towards the president. Members are reminded to address their remarks to the chair and not to the perceived viewing advance.
Gentlelady, freshman from Silt, Colorado, Ms. Boebert.
Well, I recognize the gentlelady from Colorado for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Womack, and thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today frustrated and dismayed because Congress continues to act as the Speaker's House rather than the people's House. Debate has been silenced, and bipartisan amendments have been rejected for political reasons. I myself submitted 80 amendments to this bill, and not a single one was made in order. This includes 3 amendments redirecting federal funds from bureaucrats to fight wildfires that are burning down the West. Forget voting on these common sense amendments. Democrats won't even allow debate on them. I also filed 3 amendments to reallocate resources to help combat drought in the West. All ignored, and all debate was refused. How about the amendments redirecting resources to improve veterans' mental health? Ignored. You know why the American people like Congress less than cockroaches, root canals, and Nickelback? Because of political garbage like this. Speaker Pelosi has silenced my constituents and the American people once again. And I yield back.
Gentlelady's time has expired. Gentleman from Arkansas, reserved.
The gentleman from North Carolina seek recognition.
Madam Speaker, I seek unanimous consent to address the House for 1 minute.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, you are not God. Your will does not bend the forest or shake the mountains. And let me assure you, your will does not bow the knee of millions of my countrymen who refuse to heed your callous command. To threaten arrest on others for their own personal medical decisions is nothing short of a medical apartheid, and I will not let it stand. For if I am to cowardly bend the knee here like those on the left wish, then what is to stop you all from taking your tyranny to the rest of this country that I love? How dare anyone in this institution attempt to dictate to the patriots of my staff how they may live their lives? For one to think that because they have the title honorable attached to their name means that they may dictate what others may say and think repulses me. What makes this nation special is that in this free land, the people are the royalty. So arrest us if you will, but I will not cower and I will not bend. Madam Speaker, you have come to take away our liberties. But Madam Speaker, in this country, you are outnumbered. With that, I yield back.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Texas? For what purpose does the gentleman from North Carolina seek recognition?
Madam Speaker, I hereby wish to remove my name as a co-sponsor of Bill H.R. 4390.
The gentleman's request is accepted. Okay. For what purpose does the gentlewoman?
It sure looks like Bernie Sanders now controls the party. It's systemic socialism. It's exactly what he's always proposed. You look at the bill that's going to, I guess, pass in the morning, the infrastructure bill. According to Congressional Budget Office, $256 billion. Now think about that. One bill, $256 billion of deficit spending. One bill. Now look, here's they just put out their budget outlook. This is what they think we're going to be like in 2031. 4.5 trillion in revenue. They're going to have deficit spending. You know how most people would put out a budget, how they're going to balance? They're not even trying to balance the budget. $1.8 trillion deficit in 1 year, 2031. And this is where they're going to take the debt. You know, right now, we're at a little over $28 trillion worth of debt, I think 28.5, and we're about to hit 30 trillion. We've already passed the debt ceiling. They're projecting to take our federal debt to $45 trillion. 45 trillion. Now, they're assuming interest rates are going to stay down. They're assuming in 2031, the annual interest expense will be $1 trillion. So not quite a quarter of our entire revenue will go to interest, which we will get no immediate return on. It's all because of money that's been spent in the past in deficit spending. Now, put that in perspective. If we go to the 50-year average for the 10-year, just the interest expense would be $2 trillion, and collections would only be $4.5 trillion. I mean, this is ridiculous, reckless government spending.